yourself with anxiety with the shit in your head. You just be like, all right, I got it out. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to be friends with each other, but we can respect each other in the same space. And then when we're not in that space, keep it pushing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Fan.
And I'm glad that he actually did it in Creole. That shows so much respect to us.
Big time respect.
The people don't have respect for themselves as Haitians. So the fact that someone else has more respect for our culture is ridiculous. But anyway.
I love the global reach. I love what's happening. If you don't like the song, go fuck yourself.
Stupid. Yeah. If you don't like the song, you're just a big hater.
You're just a big hater.
Because that song is very simple, but it goes a long way.
And I noticed that people part of a certain community does not like the song. Said, this is why. Yeah. You are gatekeeping. Stop it. This could have happened a long time ago. If it would have just came together and make the song out. But whatever. I'm not an expert in that. I could bring somebody here and we could break that down one day, but not today. So whatever.
Well, hello. Welcome to Hypothetically Podcast. I'm your co-host, Shelly.
And your co-host, J-23, Jean. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Before we start today's episode, I just wanted to do the biggest shout out to my sister and my brother-in-law. Happy 1 year anniversary. Happy 1 year anniversary.
You guys made it, so that's good.
Yo, first of all, around this time last year, let me give you a little backstory. Around this time last year.
Losing hair. Shelly was losing her damn mind.
I was very stressed, and not in like a bad stress. I just wanted to make sure everything went perfectly. Like, this is my one and only blood sister, my older sister, so I had to make sure everything goes very smoothly, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Jean, because he was a big help in one of the surprises that my mother wanted to pull off super last minute, and he had the most fun.
Yes, I drove that car. I still dream about driving that car. It's a Corvette, newer ones, nice ice blue. It was beautiful, man.
Yeah, he had too much fun. Once I asked him for that favor, he was like, "Of course,
I'm gonna drive the car. I was gonna do it anyway."
But
out of your damn mind.
But yeah, shout out to them on their 1 year anniversary. I know marriage is not the easiest thing, but listen, y'all found each other, and outside is ghetto, so make it work. And waiting for my nieces and my nephews. Shout out to y'all. Anyway, but yes, shout out to y'all. Happy 1 year anniversary. So what's up? How was your week? How did your birthday go? And I hope y'all seen the episode when I predicted the future, but we're not even gonna get into it. We're not even gonna get into that. I'm gonna just, smooth, let it pass. But yeah, so how was your birthday? How was your week?
My week's been, I wouldn't say rough. It was just like very linear. Like I did something I haven't done in a while at work. I actually took a temporary job, and
you actually work?
Not even actually work. I don't really work. Anybody knows I don't freaking work at work. I'm posting. I'm talking about shit. Mm-hmm. That's why I post so much on Instagram. Because I don't work. I don't really work. Like, we don't. My job is a very relaxed job. Don't get me wrong. You got to know your shit when shit hit the fan. But, if you don't, you probably shouldn't be working there. But whatever. Cheap shot. But my work is my week was very linear with work. I took a temporary job, and it was just like the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can ever take a temporary job unless it's paying way more than the regular jobs.
So you lived a normal life.
I lived a normal life.
You didn't like it.
I did not like it at all. I like variety. I like something different every day.
You like living on the edge.
I like living on the edge, yeah. But I think what was convenient was I didn't get the call. The call I'm talking about, like the call from work. Mm-hmm. So I knew that didn't happen. So that was kind of cool.
So you knew how to plan your day, but...
Right. I knew how to plan my day.
It was just boring to you.
It was just very boring. 100% boring. 100% boring. But other than that, I took a little gym break. I was like, I think I was off from gym from 3 days. It felt like 3 days. It was really 2 days, but it felt like 3. That was cool. Caught up with sleep. I picked up a new book. It's the lecture on the Old Testament.
Did you finish all your other books?
No, I actually took a break from those books because one of the books was the Bible. And I took a break, and I'm picking up this. I'm learning about the Old Testament, and it's kind of weird. Like this, the way this person presents this book is like they're doing a lecture on like each chapter of the Bible. So it helps me understand things a little bit. So once I catch up to that point, then I'm going to go back to Bible, read that again. My goal this year is to finish the Bible. Not easy because them letters are tiny. So I'm trying my best. You know, I have like a big version of the Bible, so I'm trying my best. What else this week? That's it. That's pretty much it. Just kept it normal, kept it linear, and that was it. You know, so I enjoyed my birthday. I know the episodes are weird, but that was my fault. I enjoyed my birthday. I went to Jamaica for my birthday. That was pretty cool. Everybody could not mind their business for the life of them, so it is what it is. I'll let your imagination figure it out. I'm not gonna say nothing. Whatever, figure it out. I don't give a fuck. My birthday was good. I had shout out to T Block, Payne, all those guys. They hosted a nice little event at Mr. East. You know, we've hosted events at Mr. East. Very big venue. Very cool. It was very laid back. It wasn't like the greatest party in the world, but it was a good vibe. You know, I was there with my family and my friends, and we had our own section. We weren't being bothered by. We weren't being harassed by. We had hookah. We had drinks. We had fun. I would say the DJs were cool. They were okay. They did their thing. You know, it got packed at one point, but, you know, we left at a certain point. No friction, no bullshit. My kind of night. And I loved it. You know, I had that whole week off. My birthday was very good. Once I decided to celebrate, people wanted to celebrate with me. So maybe I'll celebrate again next year. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. But this year was good. You know, 42 was good. 42 so far has been great. No complaints so far. So I'm good.
That's good.
Yeah. What about you, friend? How's your week been?
Honestly, I don't know. Like,
What an answer.
I don't know. Like, I'm not sad. I'm not happy. But, like, this week was very just, I'm here. Like, every time somebody asks me how I'm doing, I'm just here. So, I don't know if it's, like, a low-key depression. I don't know what it is. I don't know how I'm feeling. Like I said, I'm not sad. I'm not happy. I'm literally just here.
Existing.
Yeah. So, I feel like it's been a week. I try not to ponder too much on it. I still try to do like what I do, which is go to the gym, go to work, and, you know, talk to people. But I haven't talked to that much people. So yeah, this has been a week. So we'll see what next week bring and go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, you know what reminds me of? Are you a SpongeBob fan?
Not really.
Okay, so there's an episode of SpongeBob where Squidward leaves Patrick and SpongeBob, and he goes to a place where it's all Squidwards, but they do the same thing
And
every
he didn't
day.
like it.
But it was what he enjoyed.
Oh.
But then after a
just
while,
gets
he's
tired.
just like, this sucks. You know, I kind of miss my chaotic friends because, you know. So maybe you're somewhere in that. I'm not saying you need chaos in your life. I'm not implying that.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is that you.
I definitely do need to switch it up. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a new like scene. I think I just need to take like a weekend trip or something. Like I don't know. I think I need a new scenery. But like you said, I've literally been doing. Well, for you it's just this week, but I've literally been doing the same thing. Like I mean, basketball's not as much, but waking up, going to work, go to the gym, go home. Like it gets boring.
It gets very boring. Very.
I think
fast.
that's what it is. I think I just been bored. Like, I don't have no excitement. I got nobody. I got no nigga that I'm talking to that spice it up. So
I get it.
it's just boring. Yeah. So.
Plus, your life is kind of like basketball now, all through and throughout. Like, I don't think there's a time where I've seen you where the basketball is not in your court, and I'm like, wow. You know, some people dream of a life like that, but I'm not saying you're down in it. I know that's what you want to do. I know that's somewhere in that field you want to play in and do that and take that as a profession, but it's just. I just find it funny. I don't find it funny, but it's just, even in things that you love to do or you like to do.
It gets boring.
It gets boring.
Yeah.
It gets boring, and I can understand that.
Just to switch up. I think I just need to switch up my routine or something just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean,
the sun's coming out, so maybe that will change things.
Tomorrow's going to be 75 degrees.
But it's going to be raining.
It's going to be raining, so it's going to be a 52 fake out. It's going to be like, the sun might come out, might not come out, whatever. But, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so I get that. I understand that.
It happens, but, you know, just can't sit in it. So, we'll see how
I think that's
goes.
the trick. The trick is to not sit in it and let it take over, because by the time you blink, it'll be May.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, what happened to April?
Exactly.
I don't know what the hell happened. You know, everything just disappeared in front of my face.
That's how I low-key feel about March. I feel like March literally, like, we're already on the 28th.
And March is the longest, one of the longest months of the year.
Your birthday was literally like last week,
Last week. It's about to be the 28th. The 31st is Monday, I believe.
Yeah, and April starts
on Tuesday.
That's
so
crazy.
April, and I dread April because I have too many birthdays to worry about. I got my sister, I got my mother, I got my nephew, and I'm like, oh my God.
I got one, I think, and I hope I'm not forgetting anybody else. There's only Sally that I know of.
It is what Sally, that's 4. So
she said she's not doing nothing, so she better not spur
better
us.
Not, I won't hear nothing.
She better not spur us.
Meet me somewhere. Oh God,
I know.
I don't mind doing it. Don't get me wrong, sis. We'll celebrate. It is what it is. We'll celebrate. We all family now, but you can take it easy on Jean. I got 4 other birthdays to worry about, but it is what it is. You
got money, you'll be fine.
That doesn't mean I want to spend it.
You got money, you'll be fine.
Whatever. But I have a question.
Oh boy.
Okay. Because what I noticed about my friend, don't forget this is like a therapy type podcast, so let's not get that twisted. We like to talk about things that we may not talk about up front. But I want to pose a question to my friend because last time episode was Jean, and you saw the clips.
That was a really good episode.
I was getting roasted left and right.
He was not getting roasted.
I was getting roasted. Cheap shot left and right. It was a
good episode. Yo, it was not cheap shot.
Hey, fuck everybody in the comments because I see the comments. I'm not responding to nobody because y'all ain't shit. All of y'all ain't shit. Whatever.
I had your back.
Oh no, you had my back. But you also was like, am I lying though?
I'm not. Nobody said I was lying. Everybody just went around the question, but no one said Shelly's lying. So whatever. Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right. So because you said you've been in this funk, you've been in this current cycle, this linear thing. For the audience that doesn't know, behind the scenes, this one has been going through some seasonal changes. Some came abruptly, some didn't come abruptly. It is what it is. That's life. Everybody know life. Things happen.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta adjust. You have to get your shit in order. You gotta pick yourself back up. So what I'm wondering is, how has your anxiety been? And I'm assuming you have anxiety in these situations because when shit changes, like for instance, if I lost my job today, my anxiety is gonna go high. But I gotta figure it out. At the end of the day, I only have so much time to figure it out because the rent is due, car payments due, car insurance, phones, all these bills are due. I gotta figure it out. So I'm noticing your seasonal change because, I'm not putting your business out there, but there's a change in the season. Let's put it like that. There's a change in the season. So my main concern with you was, how is you going to handle this? Because I know you. I know that the anxiety might kick up. You're just like me. Like your anxiety going to kick up, but you'll find a way. But it's going to take a little bit of time for you to find your way because it's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know is, not necessarily how the anxiety is, but has it changed? Has it changed your approach? Has it shaken you? Has it not shaken you? Has it made you stronger? Has it made you weaker? Like because I know the anxiety is there. How have you
what's crazy?
Yeah.
It hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't. Like with the seasonal change, honestly, I feel, and it's kind of like scary, but like, I feel like this is the calmest that I've been. Like, I don't have a worry.
Hold that thought. When the seasonal change happened, in my mind, I was mad for you. And I'm like, yo, fuck that. That ship sailed. Fuck them. There's whatever. But in my mind, I'm like, yo, finally my friend can take a break.
Right.
Because my friend is working hard. Like, Shelly's probably besides myself and a couple of other people, she's probably one of the hardest working people I know. Not man, not woman, people. Because there's a lot of people who think they work hard, but you really don't work hard. You really don't do shit. And I'm not downplaying that, but I noticed my friend is turned up and she does her thing. So when this particular change happened, I was like, yo, my friend can finally rest. Okay, go ahead. I want to put that out there.
Well, first off, thank you. Yeah, honestly, like even when, the situation first happened, I feel like everyone around me was more upset for me. But I honestly, like, I was good. Like, right. I've been good. Like, it's not like, and like you said, I feel like I feel like I feel like the reason why I am good is because, like you said, I needed like a break. So like I feel like everything just played out the way it was supposed to play out. I mean, eventually, anxiety might happen because who knows how long this season will last. But as for right now, I think I've been in like my finest. Like I'm just doing everything that I didn't have the chance to do because I feel like that probably was like a blockage for me. Right. So I mean, eventually, maybe I'll tell y'all. We'll see how I feel. But as of right now,
we ain't telling y'all shit. I love you guys though. Keep blowing up the reels. Keep blowing up the YouTube. We hot on TikTok. We hot on TikTok.
No, you are hot on TikTok.
No, we hot on TikTok.
I saw that video. I said, "Oh,
ooh, we hot on TikTok." We hot on TikTok.
And speaking of that, you need to update this.
I'm gonna update this. Yeah, I got more stuff to come on here.
But yeah, honestly, like before my anxiety, like, and this is when I first started therapy, and she'll talk to me, she'll ask me like certain questions about my anxiety because there'll be times when like I'm not sleeping because of my anxiety, or like I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but like my hands felt weird, like it wasn't itchy, but like I couldn't really, like I'm always doing this, and I had to have my stress ball, or like. And the stress ball that I had, it wasn't like a regular stress ball. It was like stress ball that had like not needles, but it had something to like kind of calm the fizzle that was in my hand. Like, when you take pre-workout, you feel your body all tingly.
You feel that tingling. So
I felt the tingles in my hand.
It's time to go. That tingling, it's time to go. Let's go.
I felt the tingle in my hand, so like I had to have like a certain stress ball. Like I was really going through it. So like when she expressed to me like, how to maneuver around my anxiety, I feel like that helped me. So now I'm kind of like in a phase where it's just, I've been just on cruise mode. So like, and I think that's the part of my why I feel how I felt this week. Probably, part of my season, which is why I'm bored. Because that part is missing. Yeah, so that plays, an effect. So right now it's just not really figuring it out. I'm kind of giving myself some time to just relax, but eventually it's going to be a season of like figuring out. So I think when that season come, we'll see how I handle it. But right now I've really been in like chill mode, no anxiety.
Listen, on the 7th day you rest.
Yeah.
So right now you could be in your season of rest. I think we all need, like, that's what Jamaica was for me. I didn't have to, like, I was still waking up at a certain time, but then I had to like really release and be like, yo, relax,
you was living your best life. You was out here posting chest selfies and
mind your business, your business.
And then you did it to a point. You posted the pictures at a certain angle, so it was like someone took it, but someone didn't take it.
So I'll let you figure it out.
I know your DMs was popping. Your story probably had the most views.
I had a highlight. I put a reel of people.
You probably had the most views.
Oh, the most views. I had people coming out the woodwork. I said, "Oh, you hear that? You know how it goes." Shelly know how. Me and Shelly have this funny thing where, like, if something's happening, people are just coming out. Now Shelly does way better numbers than I. Shelly gets like what's the most you had? Like 1,000?
Nah,
800 views on your story.
Yeah, I had 8.
The only time that happened to me is a time where I will never speak about on this fucking podcast. God. But if you know, like, if my tribe knows, if you know, you know. My circle knows. If you know, you know. You know that
and
day.
He didn't post a damn
I didn't post
thing
that day. And I put in that day. I said, you saw what you saw. I don't give a shit what y'all saw. I made it known. And so a lot of y'all was laughing. I said, I don't give a shit. I got 100 LOLs on that day. Like that little laughs thing, I got 100 LOLs that day. I said, I don't give a shit. I ain't posting shit. You ain't got to worry about that. But
oh, my goodness. Yeah. The most time, I think the time when I had that 800 view was... And I found it so funny, but I found a sonogram picture of when I was a baby in my mom's stomach. So I posted it on my story. Mind you, it has the 1995 on there, but no one sees that.
No one sees that.
Gene, when I tell you I posted it in a span of like 15 minutes. I had like 40 DMs. I'm like, yo, y'all think if I'm pregnant, I'm really gonna post that? But yo, that day, I had to keep telling people, go back to look, and they're like, oh, my bad. And I'm like, yeah, that shows you that you don't pay attention. But
mind your fucking
yo,
business.
When I found that picture, I was like, oh, let me have some fun today. The most views ever.
Mind your business.
The most views ever. That was hilarious. But how do you have anxiety? And if you do, how do you handle it?
I always have anxiety. That's part of my life. That's part of my everyday routine. I just deal with it now. The way I deal with it is, if I can attack the problem that day, let me handle it. But what happens is, this is what happens with my anxiety. My procrastination comes in, fucks it up. Because when I know I have something to do, procrastination will have me waking up the day it's due or the day I have to handle it to take care of it. For instance, today I had my physical for work. It's a 3-year annual physical. That doesn't make any sense. It's a 3-year physical. I know what I just said. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Beer's kicking in, but whatever. So,
no, but you always blaming it on the liquor.
Because I'm sharp. The liquor makes me unsharp. So every 3 years we got to get a physical for work. I work on the railroad. Every 3 years you got to get a 3-year physical. So I knew this for about 2 months. Mind you, I go to work, I go to gym, I go to sleep, I eat. I know how to do those things in unison, blind, behind my back, whatever. But this thing that I had to get done, I had to get done. But my anxiety was telling me, yo, nigga, you got to get this done, because if you don't get this done, they're not going to let you work. And if you can't work, daddy can't make money. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get this going on. Actually, when I did my physical.
And you know about 2 months. You know about 2 months ago. It was due 2 months ago?
It was due 2 months ago. The 31st is Monday. Yeah. I did my physical today.
It's due on Monday. You're crazy.
So it's good. So I'm good now. That is good. But
why'd you wait so long?
Why'd I wait so long?
So you know you had time.
So this is constant battle between anxiety and procrastination and things I gotta do.
So you're like that student that's like,
oh, I do the last minute.
Yeah. Papers were at 11:59 and you started at 11.
At 11. Because that paper is gonna get done.
I can't work
Mistakes
like that.
Mistakes and all.
I cannot work like that.
Mistakes and all.
Like me, if I know I have something to do, and I think that's why me and Jean sometimes, there's a lot of moments that me and Jean clash, and it's because of that. Like me, when I know I have something to get done, I need to get it done so that it's not on my mind. Like if it's not done, it stays on my mind, and like I can't function. Like him saying that he knew he had 2 months to do that, I can't do that. I would have been frustrated. I would have been annoyed. I would have been on edge. Like and that's why I'll be telling Jean, like he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. And then the day come, I'm like, yeah, we still doing this? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. And I'm like,
ain't shit.
What you mean you don't know yet? And me, I like, to know me is to know I like to have my date. Do not hit me up on the spur of the moment.
This is where me and Shelly clash. Shelly's more organized. We clash. Way organized.
I need to know. Go ahead.
Shelly's like Greg in Abbott Elementary. If you ever watch Abbott Elementary, Greg is very... And I'm more Ava. I'm Ava. I'm like, just go with the flow, man. We'll figure it out.
Oh my gosh. Like I need to know how my day, like if I could literally schedule 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12, like Jean is just like, we'll figure it out. And I'm just like, no, I need to know what I'm doing for the day. And then he's always like, and Jean has the tendency when we go out, like if he doesn't have to go to work, he's only in a rush when he has to go to work. When Jean doesn't have to go to work, he don't care about your schedule. I be telling Jean, I got to be back at home by 4 o'clock. He's like, oh, we got time. I got to be home. So now I got to readjust my whole schedule because, and mind you, I always let him drive, even though I know better. So now I have to rearrange my whole schedule because he's on chill mode.
I'm definitely on chill. I love being on chill mode.
That's not okay. Who doesn't like being on chill mode?
I love chill.
Sometimes it's cool, but to live like that is not okay.
Okay, I have to be considerate. Whatever.
You're not though.
I'm not. I'm 42. I don't think I'm going to change that, but whatever.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, anxiety versus procrastination is kicking my ass, and I am trying to learn how to combat the procrastination, so my anxiety won't cost me. You know, because it can cost you. It can cost you a lot of things. It can cost you. I think when anxiety costs you the most is time. Mm-hmm. You know, people don't understand because sometimes you be in your own head, you be in your own thoughts for so long, and then you don't realize that, and you blink and half the day is gone.
The whole day is gone.
The whole day is gone. It's like, oh my God, you know. And I think you know, even with like routines, anxiety can mess it up. You know, you could be in your bed, you wake up, you pick up that phone, nigga. You better count to 10 minutes.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. For the past couple of days, it's been like I'll set my alarm. Cause I always set my alarm early. I'll set my alarm. And I find myself rushing last minute because I spend so much time on my phone. And I'm like, this is bad.
Very bad.
Mind you, I'm not doing nothing. I'm literally going between TikTok and Instagram watching nonsense.
I can count. I don't know how many times I can count on my hand where like me and Shelly have like, you know, we're gym bros, so we gotta go to the gym.
Shelly's God.
Shelly be like, I'm outside. I'm like, yo, I'm in my bed. I'm still scrolling. I'm like, yo, I gotta get up, bro.
Mind you,
I gotta get up.
Mind you, I always call this African American before I leave the house. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be on my way. So, and when I say I'm outside, I'm not outside. I'm literally still
coming down the street.
And he still makes me wait
Harrison,
like 10 minutes.
I was doing good a couple weeks ago. I was doing good. And then I fell right the fuck off the horse. I fell right the fuck back
That's
off.
why now I don't rush. When Jean tells me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't rush.
You know, but again, that's how anxiety can be.
I'll tell you this though. From our friendship, you have taught me to stop being so early. And I think I taught you how to kind of be on time. Because before our friendship was way worse. Like when we first became friends, Jean was like, oh, you're actually on time.
I said,
I'm like,
shit.
Yeah. And then I used to be like, you're still not here? And he's like, yo, I'm just like, oh my God. So now I know better. Yeah. But Benji still hasn't. Like for your birthday, she was pissed.
Why?
Because you were out to eat and we were waiting for you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And she's like, Jean's not even home. And I'm like, and me, I'm chilling on the bed. I'm like, yeah, I know. I did not expect him to be at this time.
We're all such good friends. We share our locations. Let me tell you something. That is another level of friendship. If you are not ready for that, don't do it. Because you can't lie. You can't bullshit, and you will be held accountable every time.
But you know what the thing is, though? Not even to cut you off.
Yeah.
I have Jean's location, but I never call him out when he's almost about to lie. Like I always say, where are you? Even though I know the answer, I always ask him, where are you? But Benji be calling him out. She's like, you were, what was it? Poor Jack.
Poor Jarvis.
She's like, every time I look, you're in Port Jarvis. I think that's the week that you were
I was up there. Yeah, I was up there all week.
But Benji is definitely clocking locations. Like she don't play with that. She making sure everybody good and all of that. But Jean, like I said, I never call him out on it. I always ask him, where are you? Knowing that the location pops up on the top of the thing. So I'm like, if you want to lie, go ahead. But sometimes I'll be forgetting that you forget that
that's up there. Yeah. It is what it is. But anxiety versus procrastination. It makes you do dumb shit. So I would, if you're having that issue, I couldn't tell you how to combat that. But what I've been doing is just telling myself, get going, do shit.
Honestly, I think it depends on the anxiety. Like the anxiety that I was struggling with before is having certain conversations with people because I was afraid of the response that I would get.
Speaking of which, I think once you have that conversation, you you break that wall down, and then things get better. That's just
but sometimes, like for me, like
even if it's not the result you want. But go ahead.
That's what I'm saying though. Half the time that I was like panicking or stressed, the conversation wasn't even as scary as I presumed that it would be. So it's just like, just have the conversation because then you feel like the weight is so much lifted up off your shoulders.
Oh yeah. I recently, had to fess up, kill my pride, kill my ego, and apologize to one of my friends because I was like, yo, I hurt you. You know what I'm saying? I had to admit to them like, yo, I hurt you, I miss you, like I fucked up. Come to find out, they wasn't even mad at the action that I did. They was just mad at the behavior. So I'm like, damn, I really was fucking up like this. Like I didn't realize
because you was afraid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it was like, it just gave me like a new perspective. Like, all right, I need to be better at whatever it is that I need to be better at. So now my new challenge is, how do I show up as this person for them?
How did you so okay, so for you, I know you're a person that loves to like write everything down and plan strategically. So for that, did you write out a plan?
Oh yeah, I wrote out a plan. Okay. And then I definitely followed through with the plan. You talking about the conversation or after the conversation?
Your plans after the conversation.
Oh,
like
no,
what you
I
told.
haven't wrote that.
So you wrote out
before.
So you wrote out the apology.
Yes, I wrote out the apology. Yeah. I kind of wrote out. I kind of like put bullet points.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I hit every point.
So that goes back to a few episodes when we had spoke about if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So how did that play out in your situation?
I think it was a good thing that I wasn't reading off of paper.
Okay.
I think it was just like, because it's definitely straight from the heart. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't performative. It's straight from the heart. It's just like, yo, this is how I genuinely feel, man. Like, I'm sorry, and I know I say sorry lightly, but I really genuinely meant it, because I'm like, yo, like, I hurt my friend. You know what I'm saying? So
is that something that you plan on doing, like, moving forward, like whenever?
Yeah, I realize that I have to have more conversations like this, because, not to pat myself on my own back, but my friendship tends to anchor some people. Like once we become friends and I give you that friendship and we share that friendship, people kind of like value that a lot. So if I disappear on them, or if I ghost them, or if I they get offended, they get hurt by it.
Okay.
And I
Let's get into it, because that was a perfect.
Okay. Here we go.
Sorry, I had to get comfortable now.
Back to me. Back to Jean.
It's always about Jean. Jean is like, So, okay, so you actually like segue it like perfectly, because you just answered my question.
Right.
What kind of? But I want to hear more about it. So, why do you feel like when you have a friendship, you can't hold on to it, or you can't follow through, or like stay consistent? Because this is not the first time that I've heard you speak about friendships, and I feel like with you and I being friends, I've had a few people come up to me like, your friend, and I'm like, he was your friend first, but okay. But like, people do feel a type of way that you're not consistent with them. So number one, why is that? And number two, do you plan on fixing it? Because there is a lot of people. So, I mean, I know with you, not everybody is considered to be fixed, but do you want to fix it with everybody? And if so, like, what's the plan? So the first question is why? Like, why is that with you? Is this always been a thing? Is it because you're like in a new phase in your life? Like, what is it?
When I had time, I took a week off for my birthday. And between Jamaica and between like the time alone, I had time to really think about things. And I'm like, how did I even develop this way of, not necessarily Jean don't need friends, but Jean could be by himself. And if anybody needs Jean, it's going to be people calling Jean first, Jean not calling nobody first. And then I always believe, and it's like you said, things start in your childhood. And I remember, as much as I love my father, as much as I looked up to him, he was the same exact way. He was a good friend, but he wasn't a great friend. He wasn't like, I'm not going to say he wasn't reliable, because he took care of his family, but as far as friendship, it wasn't him. He had like this view of, I'm not going to follow my friends. They got to follow me.
Okay.
No matter what. And I feel like I kind of like took that personality on, and then applied it on my own friendships. Like, I wouldn't go over to my friend's house. I wouldn't, not necessarily care what they're going through, but I wouldn't have like serious conversations with them. I wouldn't, see how they're doing. I wouldn't check up on them. I still get checkup calls from people that I don't even call at all. So
these were all surface level friends?
Right.
Okay.
But I can't even say surface level friends. Like, these people are like, I see, and,
Associates.
Associates, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm getting these behaviors from home, from the original home, the home I grew up in. I don't know if it's abandonment issues. I don't know if it's me against the world, or I could do this. I could be bad all by myself.
So, okay. So you said that, you feel like this is from home. Mm-hmm. So did you know this issue like beforehand, or is this like a new discovery?
This is most likely a new discovery.
Okay.
But I also know that my behavior made people adapt. So they're like, it's not the thing I want to hear my friends say, but they always say like, yo, that's how Jean is.
But that's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing. And it took, I remember I had a conversation with Mitch like a couple weeks ago, because when I approached the friend that I wanted to approach and say sorry, he was proud of me, but he also in the same sentence says, I know how you are.
Right.
It doesn't bother me as much. But I'm
so
like,
when people say that to you, how does it make you feel?
It makes me feel like shit, because I'm like, no, it does bother you because you're saying something about it.
Right.
You wouldn't say nothing about it if it didn't bother you. It does bother you. It does bother you that I don't check up on you, that I don't see how you're doing. I don't say how you been, how's it going? Let's talk.
So like whenever someone, because I know this happens often. So when people come up to you and be like, they have the conversation like, I know this is how you are, but I would still like you to do this back and forth. How do you feel, or how do you move forward?
For whatever reason, when people told me that, I felt like I was being attacked. Because the way I used to look at it as, I'm not bothering you.
Right.
I'm not harassing you. I'm not asking you for favors. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for. I'm not entitled with you. I'm not doing none of that. But I realized that that's not friendship. Mm-hmm. Friendship is, you're there for me, I'm there for you, no matter what it looks like. Mm-hmm. And me, I'm masking it as something like it has to look like this. If we're friends, then you got to do something for me, and I got to do something for you, and it has to be a favor for a favor or a barter system. When it's really, you just got to be there for your friends.
And okay, so what does being there for your friend looks like to you? Like, what does Jean do?
See, the thing is, like, I think this is where I kind of messed up. Mm-hmm. How I know how to be there for my friends, I also apply that to them.
So you expect yourself in them,
right?
Yeah, that's dangerous because I used to do that. I expect myself in people, and that's not gonna happen.
And I realize that everybody's different. Like some, like friend A, I need to talk to every day. Mm-hmm. Some friend B, I need to talk to every week. Some friend C, I need to talk to every month. Mm-hmm. But Jean, you could talk to me once a year. I'm not gonna look at you any different.
Right. But sometimes the talking isn't really like a full-blown conversation. It's really just a simple check-in.
It's a checkup. But I got to realize that I can't put Jean's profile on everybody else's profile. I have to realize that this friend might be sensitive. This friend might be not as sensitive, but still check up on him. This friend is worried about this. Like, I'm not really scouting.
I don't really think it's sensitive. I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but I don't think it's sensitive. I think it's just the requirement, I would want to say. Like you said, everybody is different. Like some people need to be talked to often. Mm-hmm. Some is once in a while. I think that's just like, I guess it's like love languages with friendship. Like
there is love language with friendships. Yeah.
Once you learn your friend, it kind of makes it easier. But
like some friends I could see. I didn't speak to 6 months. We see each other. Yo, the love is 100%.
Right.
We good. I got some friends that like today I saw my classmate at work. We worked together, and we was just chopping it up. And it just felt like we was in class again.
But that's the thing, though. I think that's different. I think associates and friends are two different categories. Right. So they're needed two different types of attention. Mm-hmm. And I think you're confusing your associates with your actual friends.
Yeah. I'm. To me, I gotta like reset everything. I gotta kind of like.
And with you being a person that writes, you might have to sit down and really write it down.
I'll be honest with you, I've been avoiding my journal.
We know.
Because I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. I don't even know where to start with that. I don't even know what it's like. And I have journals. I have journals on journals on journals. You know what I'm saying? So I know how to write my thoughts down. I'm very articulate with my thoughts. I know how to get them out, but I'm just afraid to just like put that on paper because I'm like I'm not confused at the moment, but I'm definitely in limbo.
And I think this goes back to our conversation, last episode. It's you kind of not knowing how to read certain situations. Like how can I say this? You're a personality. I always have a hard time saying that word. Your personality is the type of personality that like it draws people in. But when you draw people in, you don't see that. So then when people are like here, like a glue, they're like stuck on it. You like, I ain't do nothing. And it's like, yes, you did. So I think when you have to also learn that too, because that also gets you in trouble. Because then you're creating friends that you kind of didn't want to create. Not to say that in a bad way. It's just like you just being a friendly person, but to that person, it's like you probably came at that moment when they needed something so bad, and it's just like, yeah, that's my friend. And then you look at it as like, no, I kind of was just checking in. But you're so like, you have I don't want to say emotional intelligence either, but you have a way of conversing with people that gets you in trouble. That's what I want to say.
Okay. I can see that.
And it, like I said, sometimes it's not a bad thing, but sometimes, but because of the person that you are, like you can literally come home for a month straight and not talk to one single person.
That's not good.
Exactly.
That's not good at all because I can talk to nobody. And that's everybody.
Yeah.
I see even my own family.
Your parent, especially your parent. Your mom will call you. You'll look at your phone and be like, I'm not even in the mood to talk.
Right. And that's not fair because it's like she just wants to check on her son.
Right.
She wants to make sure that I'm okay. You know, and I'm not picking up the phone saying, "Hey, Ma, I'm fine. I'm okay."
And even like I remember when we first became friends, and I'm texting you like, "Am I being annoying?" And you're like, "No." But then I had to learn that your one-word answers aren't like dry answers. It's really just you being
no.
you.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say no. Like you're fine. It was annoying at first, Shelly. Am I being annoying? Am I annoying? Am I bothering you?
Because it was still like, and that's what I had to also tell myself, like, we're two people learning each other. So it's and that's how I kind of take everything in life now, where it's like, I have to learn this person because they don't know me and I don't know them. So we have to learn the likes and the dislikes, what bothers, what all of that good stuff. But it was like, I would go a week or two without hearing from Jean, and I'm just like, what is going on right now? Mind you, he on Instagram, he living his best life, and I'm like, ain't no way this Negro don't see me texting him. Mind you, he sees it, he just don't feel like answering. Now I know, like, you know, he's just being Jean, but in the beginning, so I know like people actually struggle with that. And with me, the only reason why me and Jean are so friends is because I never stopped bothering him. So, and I don't take the excuse that that's how Jean is. I'll tell him about himself, and we move forward.
Fast.
And we move forward. So, but then again, not everybody feels as comfortable with doing that.
Right.
And you also won't take it from anybody either. So that's another thing too. Yeah. Because some people, you just like, all right, I'm not even trying to hear this right now, but.
That's the thing. Like my annoying scale is very sensitive. If you annoy the shit out of me, I'm gonna be like, all right, you're just gonna stay there in your corner by yourself and
you're gonna be texting the okay to a paragraph.
Right.
Jesus.
Don't send me a paragraph. You're just gonna get okay. So.
Is that a man thing or is that a Jean thing?
Man thing, Jean thing. I don't know. Some men have text paragraphs.
Yeah, too much.
Some men text paragraphs. This one's full. Okay. All right, whatever. We don't have the wide shot, but whatever.
I mean,
I'll edit that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
But yeah. Okay. So I guess moving forward, I guess this is probably the last question. So moving forward for the rest of the year or continuing in life. I know you said you had an apology tour. Is that still happening or
yeah,
did
it's
you
still
reach
happening.
the end of your okay.
That's still happening. I got about 2 more people. 3 people.
Okay.
4.
Damn.
Yeah. No, it's just popping up in my head, you know, because I got to do one as a group, and then I got one person I gotta, you know.
Okay.
I'm getting there, but the main one I took care of, and then you know we're good. I just gotta
So are you gonna move forward with the same like?
That's the thing. That's what I'm
battling
right now. Like, because I feel like when you fix something, it's like a relationship, right? Like you guys get back together, and then you want to do something, but you don't want to do it because you're trying to be back in your girl's good graces. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like if you got caught cheating, like all of a sudden you want to be good now,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
when you should have been doing it from the beginning.
Not every apology deserves a friendship in return, if that makes sense.
Right. You know, some things change, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, so I also known going into this apology, I might not get the friendship back,
right?
But the respect will be there,
right?
You know, the awkwardness don't have to be there. The BS don't have to be there. We could be cordial.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the funniest thing because people be thinking like I'll be uncomfortable and I'll be weird and I really don't care.
Yeah, you don't care. Yeah.
Like I got a couple of apologies lately, and I'm looking at my phone like, what is going on? Like, why is everybody all of a sudden like apologizing?
Right.
And I'm like, I'll take it, but it's not like I was waiting for it.
Right. But I think with apologies, you kind of clear headspace.
Apologies is for the person that's apologizing.
Right, yeah. For the person apologize, you get the headspace.
Yeah.
You get those thoughts back, and you can move on with your life. You don't have to kill yourself with anxiety with the shit in your head. You just be like, all right, I got it out. We don't have to like each other. We don't have to be friends with each other, but we can respect each other in the same space. And then when we're not in that space, keep it pushing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. 1, 2, 3. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Anxiety sucks.
I'm not gonna lie. That thing is no joke.
No joke.
And
if you're struggling with it, get some help.
Seriously.
Get some help.
Therapy for me was the thing. And I know we bring up therapy a lot, but therapy literally, like I wasn't in it for a long time. But the time that I was in it.
We are a therapy podcast. We like to talk about
it. She definitely helped me.
Yes.
So.
Sift through, seek help. Speak to the lady, speak to the man. You know, and I'm not talking your parents. I'm not talking your friends. I'm not talking church. I'm not talking anything. I'm talking about a complete stranger.
Professional.
That can look at it from the outside, looking in.
Mm-hmm.
That can dissect what you're going through, break down your conversation, break down your traumas, and help you get through that stuff. It helps. You know, therapy it's a tool now. Why not use it? When you have a headache, what do? You get aspirin, right?
Hey, yo, little do y'all know, all of y'all insurances, if y'all have insurance, covers it. So y'all really don't gotta do nothing but pay that $10 or $15 copay that y'all gotta pay for.
And that's it.
So
and they get paid and you get help.
Right.
And that's it. You know? So, you know, if you need help about therapy, reach out. I can help you. All right, and that's what I did. I went out and people helped me. Hey, go here, go there. I
remember the process of getting into therapy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Wild. Because I wasn't budging.
G was like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. You know? especially as men, we have this dumb ego and this dumb pride that says we don't need help. We can figure it out ourselves.
No, but really, at that time,
you know, but when you're sitting in your car for 20 fucking minutes, it's like, nigga, you need therapy.
The time that I suggested it was you needed it. Right. Like, I'm looking at you and I'm like, this nigga needs, and it wasn't like in a bad, funny way. It was on some like, my friend seriously needs help. Like, there's nothing that I can say. There's nothing that, family could say. You need professional help. Yeah. But it was a very rough time.
Very rough time.
And I'm glad that, because honestly, if you didn't go to therapy, I don't know where you would have been. I'm not saying like, something bad would have happened, but the energy that you have now, I don't think it would have been here.
Oh, no, yeah.
It would have been here.
But that's why it's funny to me when I see some people going through things. I'm saying, that nigga don't need therapy. And if he don't go through, he gonna keep it. He gonna keep it the same cycle. Yeah. And we're gonna be 50 and 60, and you're gonna be fucked. Point blank. Period. You're gonna be fucked.
Sometimes you just gotta sit back and really just analyze yourself and be like, yo, for real, I need help.
And one thing I love about therapy, it might be the last thing we're talking about, but one thing I love about therapy is that it decodes all the bullshit you're going through, and not for nothing, it makes you kind of distant from some people who just refuse to change. Mm-hmm. You know, it makes you very, very aware of like, this person's not good. You know, maybe I can keep them maybe I should demote them to associate or demote them to face. I know that face. I know your name. Hey, what's up? All right, cool. Keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because some people, I believe in energy. I believe that if some people have this energy about them and you're around them, you are going to emit that energy and it's going to be part of your life. And dark energy is a thing, you know? So I would be highly aware of these things when it comes to people. So, you know, take that as you will. But yeah, I mean, anxiety is a thing. Therapy helps. Conversation helps. Don't be too prideful and don't let your ego ever tell you can't say you're sorry. If you're in the wrong, you're wrong, you know? So, yeah. Yeah.
And on that note, you know Jean is done.
I'm not even done. I'm hungry.
Yeah, he's been complaining about food for a minute.
So me and Shelley are going to hit the bar after this. You guys want to join us? Let us know.
First of all, by the time he posts this, it's probably going to be next, you know, it's literally going to be next month. So it's going to be next month, Jean. Next month is next week.
No faith in me.
I don't. Good. I'm not even going to sit here. I mean, I hope you prove me wrong. Yeah. But
it's easier to edit now. It's just, especially with this shit going down, with the fucking widescreen going down. We're going to get another camera, guys. I promise. Because I see the clips. I see when they go to Shelley's camera, my camera. Me and Shelley got the nice cameras. And then it goes to the good old faithful, the Canon 80D, the OG. Yeah. You know when the OG is on. So, work with me. I'm like, damn. Yeah, work with me. Work with me, please.
We got to change
it. But cameras ain't cheap, man. Cameras ain't cheap.
Listen, I remember when Jean first brought up this price, I said, huh? He said, yeah, we're going to get 2. I'm like, whoa, hold on.
Right.
But
and the funny part, the wide camera that I want is the price of both of these cameras put together.
You on your own with that.
Right. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But
you said what? Oh, that's all. Else? No, I'm just, I want to shout out my womans, my ladies, my females, my girls. The month of March is Women's Month.
It's Women's Month,
So shout out to you guys. I know last year we did on the page, but this year was it was a lot. So I didn't even have time.
The page is still up. Support.
Yeah, last year we had this shout outs to all the girls that are, doing their thing. And you see today, having my nice shirt,
I want that shirt.
Supporting women, definitely not getting this week. You could go get your own, but so shout out to all, the ladies. Continue to be great. I know life is hard. I know life is kicking our derrieres.
I know men ain't shit.
That part. But
we gotta get it together.
But honestly, it sounds crazy, but all of it is really worth it at the end, because once you reach that finish line, you'll see it's really gonna be worth it. I know we all struggle right now, and I know some days I'm talking to myself and I'm like, bro, I hope that this is worth it, but it is. And we're stronger than we know and we think. So just keep pushing and everything will work out. And on that note, this is Hypothetically Podcast. I'm your favorite co-host, Shelley.
And your other co-host, Jean.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Music.
Oh, shoot.
Don't forget. That's all good. That's all good. The best song out right now, Summer 25. Outside. No chemise. No draws. We outside. We wearing linen.
What did I teach you earlier today?
Shit. I sneezed, and then Shelley told me, bless you. Pearl.
Bon Dieu.
Bon Dieu. Bon Dieu.